Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining me today. Um, this day is very special. I'm gonna ask your permission to vent with you guys, and there is a reason for it. A few days ago, like 3 days ago or 4 days ago, maybe, I was feeling totally afraid of being fake news. Let's call it like this, okay? But the thing was, I was like my thoughts were being inspired to doubt of myself and go like, are you sure you want to keep doing lives? Are you sure you are able to talk of these subjects with people around the world? Uh, available in a very multinational language like English. And I was being permeated with thoughts of doubts and afraid of not being the real deal. But then it so happened that I got a subject, and that subject seemed to be repeated. And I was like, hey, Forrest, what is going on? Do you realize that this subject seems repeated? And this discussion is important. First, when I talk to you guys of my discussions with the Force, is because there's where I get inspired. So, in order for us to tap into the subjects to which I got spiritually inspired, most of it will be around those conversations that I have with the Force. So, this may look like I'm talking about myself, but my purpose in telling you of those conversations is first to show you that those conversations are real and inspiring, and second, to explain that this is not being originated in me, and this is not a thoughtful process, which would actually be easier if I chose a theme from my mind and wrote it down and chose how I was going to talk about it. I think it could be easier because I would have the topics to go reading if I would be forgetting something. But when I started this work, I was talking with Mendozo. Okay, Mendozo is my name to the forest because this is my kid's name to him because she still doesn't know how to say meu Deus in Portuguese precisely, so she calls him Mendozo. And I was talking to Mendozo and I was like, hey, where is the inspiration? It's missing 3 days to the next live. Where's the inspiration? And he was like, hey, I already told you, it's about the power of praying. I was like, but okay, but I already talked about the power of your wishes like 2 lives ago, and I already spoke of connectiveness in the previous lives. It feels like I'm repeating it. And suddenly I came to my senses, and it felt like, oh my God, why am I being so shooted with those bad thoughts of this work? This work is related to one of my passions. It shouldn't be this scary, you know? And why is that important to say? Because it feels like this, okay? If you're going to something that you love, uh, some bad forces will try to influence you against it. Why is that? Because if you go to do something with your passion and your love, you will produce beauty into the world, and you will make others see you as an example, and they will follow you, and they will be admired by your example, and they will want to repeat this in their lives. And when I realized my process of doubts, I came to my senses and I was like, hey, okay, I see bad things trying to go against me, and I see bad things going to try to make me dismiss of the subject. So then I decided to calm. And then I decided, as I said, that Don Juan Matos teaches to lurk, which means if you need to find something, think, know to yourself that you wanted something, and then go think of something entirely different, and go do something entirely different. And I went to do that. And it was super interesting because my partner came to me and he said, hey, you seem so happy. And I was thinking to myself, okay, my plan worked. My plan worked because I was like super stressed on the inside, but on the outside, I was, I trust you. I trust you. Can you see me? I'm calm. I'm trusting you. Okay. I'm trusting you. You see, I'm trusting you, right? And because of the fact that my partner told me that I was actually seeming to be good on the outside, was thinking to myself, okay, it actually worked. And then when I got calmed, he inspired me a few things. And this was our discussion. I was like, okay, the power of praying, we already talked about this 2 lives ago, 3 lives ago, I think in the last live too. And he was like, don't worry, this has a purpose. And I tried to discuss with him, okay, I was that dareful, daring. I was daring that much. And I was like, okay, but do you know what's going on? It's because like this, I have lives and people, they want to talk about subjects and I need different subjects, but you're making me go around in circle on those subjects because I have already said before of the power of praying and connectiveness and how to do this, but you're bringing me to this point again, the power of prayer. And he was like, hey, didn't you ask me to guide you through this? And I was like, yes, okay. And he said, so I'm guiding you. Why are you against it? And I was like, because people want different. And he said to me, but do you want to follow people or do you want to be guided by me? And I said, okay, see what you mean. So what do you got? And he was like, okay, while I talk to you about the power of prayer, what seems to be to you again? Each time that I make you go into a part of a subject that something feels repeated, and then you touch some other subjects, but then you can come back to this. Every time you come back to a subject, we're enhancing the deeper levels of that knowledge. So when I ask of you to talk about the power of prayer, I'm going to give you new ideas and I'm going to repeat some other ideas because if people come here with you from the beginning until this point, they will hear you enhancing the knowledge, but also if someone who would be watching you right now didn't watch the previous lives, it is important to touch on that subject because maybe who will watch your live and your video will need to hear from that, regardless if he or her watched the previous lives or not. And I was like, okay, better, makes sense, let's go. And then I said, so what do you got for me? And he was like, okay, what do you mentally know about the power of prayer? And then I had the authorization to come into my mind to explain. Okay, the power of prayer. Prayer seems to be church subject, right? Please, let's not take into that, okay? When I say prayer, it's more my kind of prayer, which is, hey, big forces, I've got this going on. This is stressing me out. Can you help me relieve? Or, hey, bigger forces, I'm with some doubts. Can you help me out? Or, hey, bigger forces, I wanted something. Can you help me how to get it? And they go like preparing me to be helped by them in what I asked. And why came I to this? Why did I come to this? Because I see religions prayers and they are like this is very meaningful. This means something. Don't please feel like I'm against this, but this is the first level of prayer. You speaking from your mind what is going on is your first level of prayer, and it's the most shallow. And then it came to this. So, what would be the real prayer? And so many people are talking about it those days, right? I think to myself that every time, every hour we are praying. But if you want to join forces with you in the forest to get something, let's talk about the power of prayer. What would be the power of prayer? We have to remember to connect vibration, thoughts, and emotions. What does that mean? Hey God, I want a car. Okay, this is a thinking situation. You can tell him he heard this. But he's thinking you are too in the mundane world. You're too in the surface. You're not wishing it too deeply. So what he causes you to do? He causes you to think about that car. You in that car, you traveling with that car, you promenading with that car. Promenading is, let me get what's promenade, just a bit. Is there promenade in English? Let me get passear. Just stroll. You want to stroll around with your car. You're gonna do many things, right? And he inspires you to all of those things. Oh, and then I'm gonna take to an amusement park, and then I'm gonna take all of my kids, put them all in the car, and we're going to do this, and we're okay. This in this point, the force has made you go to the second level, which is don't just think it, vibrate it. So when he's inspiring you to get that car and to make you go places with that car, he's starting already to work on your emotions, because when you reach those emotions of being happy because you are in the new car that you didn't even get, you are already identifying with the thought that I have a car, I have a car, I have a car. And then you go to the second level of the real prayer, which is you already thought of it, you already asked it from your superficial mind, and now you're starting to vibrate it. You started to vibrating. But then something bigger comes, and for some reason, you go so deep into one of those thoughts that you are already inside of your car and you are already having a super day, the best day ever, because you used that car and that's all going on your mind. But because of that, you started being happy. And this means that it touched the third level, which is your emotions. So the power of praying would be connect those three levels. You put together your emotions, your vibrational state. I'm sorry for my English. And then you bring them all together with your thoughts, and then you can talk to him. Hey, I got it all. I got it. I got it. Can we go for it now? And then he will make all arrangements and call all the people that will bring you your dream. And why is that super important? Okay, Abraham Hicks talks about it the whole time. Okay, and I love Abraham Hicks. Started that girl. Hey, girl, if you ever hear me, you are super. Thank you for that work. That is super, has been super helpful to my personal life. And Abraham Hicks talks about that all the time. If you are already wishing something, it's already on your energetical life vortex. And then I got inspired to the second subject. I do tell people to be careful about religion, but not because they're danger, but because depend on the way how they teach you to think about it, they can actually help you to make a confusion. And it's kind of very daring of me to try to clear that out. Maybe I get to, maybe I don't get to. This would be more like a divine gift if I got to, because this is actually hard. But the thing is, when you pray from your mind, but you're in a bad mood, I'm sorry to say you're praying against yourself. I'm so sorry to say. Abraham Hicks tells that all the time. You're going against yourself because of what? Because you're talking to the forest. You asked to open the channel to talk with the forest, but you're sending so many bad energies. You're crying if you're in angst, if you're in anxiety. Oh my God, you're putting so much bad energy out there. You are going to receive so much more lessons to come before you get to where you desire. So remember this, when you go try to talk with the forest, remember to try to go very clean. What do I mean by clean? Don't shower. Don't be worried of showering. I'm talking mind clean. What is that? Do you have worriness? Okay, this has to stop in the moment you decided to talk to God. Do you have angst? Stop in here. Go talk to God. Clear from that. Oh, but I actually wanted him to help me with that angst. Okay. Do you know when you were a kid and your parents say, hey, please stop crying. I'm not understanding what you're saying. This is almost the same. God knows you're in hurt. He knows you're in pain. He knows you're asking for help to get out of that place. But you need to allow Him a good energy so He can hear you clearly and you can get His answer clearly. So when I talk to you, go talk to God very clean. I mean more like being peace. Be in your center, be calm. Because when remember when I said in the previous live, when you're in a calm state, you get to join your mind force with your spiritual force. And when they are together, you're stronger. But if you're too much in your mind, and if you're too much in your thoughts, your uh, frequency of vibration will be very fast and you won't connect because the connection doesn't work in this spot of keep thinking and keep hating and keep anxiety and keep anxious. So even though you know all that's going on, you center with yourself and you say to yourself, okay, now I know what's troubling me. Hey, Forrest, I know what's troubling me. Can I talk to you now? I can talk to you now in a good state. I'm ready to talk about it. And be prepared because the force doesn't lie. And you have to prepare to hear the truth. This is always a question that I make to people. When you go talk to God, do you want to be pleased or do you want to hear the truth? If you want to be pleased, you're going in the wrong moment because He will answer you the truth. And the truth can please you and maybe cannot please you because maybe his answer could be okay, but you have to work harder for that. And energetically and in your conscience level. So even though you have all that so many things worrying you, remember to go, okay, it's like this. If you go to visit your someone, you shower first. You go to the house, you go to their house, you don't go stinky, you don't go like smelly. You shower and you go clean. This is kind of the same, okay? Why is that? Because He's super superior. He's got all of those infinite levels going on. How do you want to be so mundane with your dirty thoughts and get in there? I'm sorry, in their house is super cleaned. You have to be cleaned to connect. And then you can clean and then you can say, hey, Big Force, I got this Angus going on. Can you take it away from me, please? I heard you can take it away from me. Can we exchange this? You give me good thoughts and I take this trash thought from me and can you clean it, please? And then you'll be quiet and then it will be more honest. But when I came to this subject, he started inspiring me. And even though I was getting back to the power of wishing and the power of asking, because let's talk about it. It's true, right? It's the same subject. And I already spoke about it, but he wanted me to talk about it again. So let's respect, right? I asked it to be inspired and not to create it from my mind because I wanted this spot, this place to be a space for the force to be able to channel messages. So I have to be inspired. It cannot be my thinking process. Oh, and this was scaring me so much because I was like, oh my God, will I get the next theme? Will I get the next theme? And then, okay. But then we started talking, as I said. And he was like, but do you know why I need to talk to you about this? Because you know how to talk from all religions. So that's why I needed to talk to this because we're going to touch a very delicate subject, which is a subject super going on around the world in many faces today. And religion made it seem like this was very weird, but then it's actually super simple. And you are going to explain from the famous religions and from the unknown religions, and you can maybe help bringing clarity to some people. And I already knew what he was talking about because while I was listening to him, he was already putting all the message in my heart because he's that super wow, right? And then what I heard was this. What about sexual energy? Why is that? Oh, because church says that sexual energy. Okay, it's true. Church says that. But do you know that that is not all lie? That is not all lie. Other religions from other places and from many different cultures since Asia until ancient Toltec culture. Toltecas? Chama Toltecas em inglês? Peraí, just let me check this. Toltecas in English. Chama Toltecs. Yes, Toltecs. Okay. So from Asia to Toltecs, they explain you this. When you use your sexual energy and when you let it flow outside of your body, you just spent life energy. Ooh, I see what you mean. Why do you think you are spending life energy? Because when you throw that liquid off, you can bring life from that, right? Am I right? That's science, right? If you throw away your sexual forces in that liquid, let me get the name, in that enjoyment. Okay, translator got me enjoyment. I don't think this is it, but let's call it like this because it's softer, okay? So when you go into that sexual enjoyment that you let that liquid flow off, you just threw away so much life energy. And what is the importance of that life energy? Is that for making babies? No, guys, not it. You just took away a little bit more power from your desire away from you. Because when you connect from your inner being to request something, to be like a super magic, life changing miracle, and you are wasting your energy, whatever it is, okay? You can be wasting that energy on worriness thoughts. You could be wasting that energy on fighting. You could be wasting that energy in trying to correct other people's lives. That happens a lot to a lot of people. You could be spending that energy in gossiping. I'm so sorry, that's true. And gossip, okay, we're gonna have a whole program about this because gossip, oh my god, this is such a waste, but okay. uh while you could be guarding it for yourself. So when you would go to the forest with a life desire, you would have life energy to bring that desire to earth. So am I criticizing? No, please be my guest. If you're doing this, if you feel like doing this, just go and do. Even sexually, right? Which is supernatural, just go and do. But there are people who train to do the act of love without dropping the liquid. Why is that? Because they're raising their what they call their kundalini. Okay. Do I have to explain kundalini? Okay, I will explain in case you are new at the subject and you maybe don't know. We have 7 chakras, right? The root chakra is based in our sexual parts, in our bodies. And from there to up in our belly, in close to our heart, in our, am I right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, we have 7 spots of chakras. Sorry, I don't know the name of them all. But when we keep energy, that energy starts growing from the root chakra, almost like a snake, like doing this. And if you all your chakras have been worked like almost in an academy, your life energy can flow freely to your coronal chakra from crown, okay? Crown chakra. And in that place, all the communication starts. And that is fantastic. Do you know why? Because when you reach that level, you don't really need to worry in praying because your mind and your feelings will be your prayer. Why is that? Because you're turning on your mediumship, so they will hear you all the time and you will hear them all the time. And why is that so good? Okay, that feels weird. Oh, but this girl wants me to talk to ghosts. No, let's focus, okay? You are trying to communicate your surface part of you, they call it conscious mind, with your inner powers, which are in your subconscious mind. And your subconscious mind respects you and he obeys you for the bad and for the good. So if you're in a bad situation, you probably asked without knowing for bad things to come, and your subconscious mind is respecting you. But when your kundalini is in your crown chakra, you start to see that process. And then your subconscious mind, while it's communicating with your conscious mind, you will be aware of what's going on. So if a bad thought come to your mind like, oh, what if I suffered an accident? What would I do? When you go thinking with that, your inner power, right? Wait, hey, where are you going with that mind? Are you going to a tragedy? Get back, let's think about good things. Waterfalls, flowers, motion, nature. Okay, you get to correct that. And this is super into the power of prayer, because it's like, as I said, if you're praying and you are like, oh my God, oh God, he will hear you crying. You will have had visited the forest with the crying, and he will be like your father. Hey, kid, please stop crying so I can hear you. But this is not because he cannot hear you. He hears you super well, however you are. But this is because you need to open a channel in you to hear him. And when you're stressed out, his voice seems to not appear. To hear his voice, you have to be in a super calm state. That is why the power of lurking is super important. Because if something is permeating your mind that won't let you think of anything else, it's because this got too big for you. So deliver it in the hands of the bigger force that has bigger hands to deal with the subject, and go do something else, like a kid. Okay, let's think about him like our father and our mother. He's like your father and your mother. If you had a super cool father and a super cool mother, okay, because he's the best, you will be like, hey dad, I want this, I really want this, and he really want this, and he will tell you, okay, when it's your turn, I'm gonna give it to you. When it's your turn. Oh, but please make me. When it's your turn, I'm gonna give it to you. When it's your turn. Okay, you answered, that's the true. I'm gonna respect. So while it's not my turn, why can I not have fun, right? Let's have fun. I always say to people this: if you're crying, remember to cry in Hawaii. Okay, because if you feel like if you feel like if you feel like sad, be sad in Hawaii. Okay, go change the climb. Hawaii will make you happy. Just because it's a famous reference, okay? Not because they do this, but I have a sort of a very paradise place like Hawaii here in my country, but I'm not that close to Hawaii right now. But if you're gonna cry, cry in Hawaii, please, because you shouldn't be there. And the problem of being sad is the sadder you are, the more sad you want to be. Oh my God, if people only knew how true this is, it would be super smart of you to reject the sadness state and look for things to make you laugh and smile. I swear to you, because while you're sad and diving deep into that sadness, that sometimes, okay, it brings art. Okay, sadness sometimes brings art. So this is super valuable too. If you're in there, that happens. And maybe life is causing you to be in there for you learn something, because through pain, we also learn how to love ourselves. But if you want to change, if you really want to change, stop thinking of where you are and that sadness, and identify yourself with the beautiful future ahead of you, whatever that is. Maybe you like watching birds, so think yourself of watching birds, and think of yourself finding the rarest bird. And because when you change your mind in your when you change your mind in your energetic path, I'm sorry, I'm gonna repeat because I don't know if you heard, because my mic fell, but this is it. If you change your state of mind to a place where you like better to go to in your mind, in your vibration, you will be saying to the person, hey, I'm ready, can you send me new good opportunities so we can do a lot of new things, very very adventurous, and with a lot of pleasant, whatever that is. It could be an adventure inside of your house. there is this kind of things nowadays because we're super connected, right? So how much time do I have? I'm sorry because I have no producer here today. Okay, I'm in the last minutes. Sorry. So I'm gonna try to rush, but this is it, okay? Remember, the power of praying is not just ask from your superficial mind. Remember to pray, let yourself visualize. Everybody tells about the power of visualizing, right? Am I right? I've been hearing this in so many places. Oh, if you want to get rich, remember how visualizing. And it's true. It is super true. Because when you visualize, you change your inner state. Okay, so please remember that. I wish I had more time to go even deeper because now I got super inspired and I had more to say. But I'm going to continue this on the next lives because apparently I'm not just going to do separated subjects, they are going to be super linked among them. Okay, now my thank yous are for everyone that is joining Love and Moon Boutique with me so far, the channel, and the people who are becoming memberships because we're gonna have enhanced knowledge in there, and I love this. The deeper I go, the deeper I feel happy, the happier I feel, and I want to say a special thank you to Love and Moon Boutique. I suppose that we both think that the forest brought us here together. And thank you for all the allowances you are giving to me through this channel because, oh, you gave me a gift from superior forces. I must say this to you. And guys, I have to say this to you. Love and Moon Boutique is this space where you can let your creativity flows freely to make your outer world looks like this new moment of your inner world where you're trying to change from this heavy state to a softer state. But when I tell you this, uh, please be aware of this. While we are in this moment of us, remember that the people in Love and Moon Boutique got worried in making this space come true so we could vent with each other, okay? And we will be here to listen to you in our technological ways and and remember this, okay? You're in front of a name that is here to connect with you, okay? So thank you so much, Love and Moon Boutique. This space is very special for me. So I hope we grow very, very big with all the force, okay? Thank you so much, everyone who are with me right now. Have a nice day, a nice week. I hope you get to feel very inspired. And while your inspire is missing, remember this, go have fun. If you're crying, go cry in Hawaii, okay? Have a nice day, a nice week. Kisses in your hearts, all the love in the world. Bye bye. Feel blessed. Bye. Okay.